Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're diving into the brand new Marvel Legends figures recently revealed from New York Comic Con 2025. Now, I had the pleasure of meeting Dan Yun there again. I got some good information about these, along with the Executioner Bath Wave as well, which I just did a separate video on. Now, these figures feature two different two-pack sets of Inhumans, along with two different Spider-Man retro figures as well. Overall, they look pretty solid so far. Let's dive in and see if any of these figures are actually worth the cash. So let's start off with the Black Bolt and Triton two pack. Now, this has the Silent Inhumans King and Aquatic Warrior together, right? Featuring Black Bolt with an alternate sort of Sonic Scream head, and Triton with those wing parts, or rather parts of hands for aquatic flight pose actions, right? Now, in terms of design, Black Bolt really features this nice regal, like kind of stoic sculpt with nice costume lines to emphasize like that silence and raw power of its background, his power set, right? The alternate Sonic Scream head is perfect for like staging some nice action poses with him, which is pretty cool because he's known for like destructive whisper sort of powers, right? Now the paint application looks pretty solid. A nice glossy black to it, very similar to the original one. Actually feels a little more glossy though. The wings themselves also have a very nice sculpt to them. Scaled very well under his arms and rib cage area, and it really fit the actual figure. I'm glad they actually come with two separate ones. In terms of Triton, it's more like a streamlined, like aquatic anatomy, right? Just gives him like those underwater sort of gliding features, sculpted fins and textural scales throughout the body, especially the face, which are nice key focal points and display shelf. Sorry. So it stands out pretty well once you have him on there because you'll know who he is, right? Pin-up pictures look pretty good as well. Seem a little shade less glossy than Black Bolt and more matte, which does look nice. Especially the green that's and purple on his body, right? I really like those two tones that they've used in terms of the coloring. The muscle tones of both figures actually came out pretty good and have some nice streamlined feel to it, right? I don't see anything kind of bulging out, which is good. In terms of articulation, looks like they feature some additional shoulder and like back articulation, especially Black Bolt to accommodate some of the wing attachments, right? And this will actually allow your like posing to preserve sculpt detail while, if you want to put them in flight or some combat action scenes, right? Now, in terms of accessories, there are 12 in total in the actual set, right? So Black Bolt includes 4 alternate hands, 4 wing pieces, so 2 pairs, which is cool, an alternate Sonic Screaming head, whereas Triton includes 2 alternate hands and an alternate head, right? So not many for Triton, but Black Bolt definitely has more than a few good ones. And I really like the wing options they've excluded well because, again, it includes 2 pairs, so I'll give you some different options there. So overall, great like 2-piece set with strong figures. Definitely worth the pick in my opinion. We'll have to see if it's better than the original one in terms of Black Bolt. Next one up here is the Medusa and Gorgon 2-pack set. Right, this features the Inhuman Royal Family Duo with swap faces and mace pieces. Right now, in terms of details, sorry, it features Medusa and Gorgon from sort of the Inhuman Fantastic Four era, with sculpting that has that sort of comic feel and ruggedness to it, especially Gorgon, which is pretty cool. Medusa has a tall, more elegant sculpt and the flowing hair mechanics that really translate pretty well right into her figure form. The swappable faceplate also aims to kind of give different expression to her, which is good because you don't always have to keep her angry and whatnot, right? Especially if you want to pair her next to Black Bolt, just chilling. Hair sculpt looks really amazing though, and great overall length to it. It doesn't feel overdone at all. I really like the red tone that they've used along with the curves, especially at the strand ends because there's different variations of length, and it just came out really clean. Now, in terms of Gorgon, he's more heavy set, animalistic like figure. Has like a lot of power stomping proportions at his feet and his hands, and a pretty cool mace as well is there. Paint application looked pretty good. A number of different color variations here. No real blending of colors and separated well. Just came out pretty nice because there are different variations of color here. Muscle tones on both figures came out really good as well. Have some nice depth to it, especially Gorgon. I really like Gorgon's feel, right? Like his kind of his hoof rather came out really good. And they give him that more bulky, muscular body, which is complete opposite of Medusa, right? In terms of articulation notes, expect like sort of like balanced articulation, right? Especially around Medusa's hair, because as you pose her, you hope that she'll actually be able to stand and get you those pretty cool like action poses. Whereas Gorgon's more weighty, right? So it's much bigger. So she should stand much easier, especially for his size. But I think there's some like limitation around his neck, right? Or at least from what I can see in the pictures. Now, In terms of accessories, there are 6 pieces in total in the box. Medusa gets 2 alternate hands and a swappable faceplate, where Gorgon gets 2 alternate hands and that mace weapon, right? So overall, a good 2 piece set with, again, strong figures. Definitely worth the pickup, in my opinion, especially if you plan on picking up Black Bolt or pairing him up with Black Bolt, because this new Medusa looks pretty solid as well. Next one up is Spider-Man 2099, which is the new version, like second iteration, released by Hasbro. This features Miguel O'Hara, with those thwip and like roll curl hands, plus that like tattered cape, which is really part of this highlight, right? Now the retro, excuse me, Spider-Man 29 figure in Marvel Legends, features like more of a futuristic silhouette on a frame of the body. Again, it has the cape, and not really what the look. The paint applications look very similar to the original. Excuse me. Don't see much difference there, but looks pretty solid. In terms of sculpting, again, there's some nice angular lines to really reflect the 29 aesthetic with like stylized motifs, and gives you those some nice rears, right? And again, I apologize, guys, I'm a little under the weather. Um, Hopefully, you can guys understand me well. His body does look a shade more slimmer than original release, from what I'm seeing. Because the original release felt a little more stocky and wider, but this one looks pretty good in terms of Miguel O'Hara. Muscle sculpting looks also really nice. Really pop out with that nice blue color tones throughout the actual body. The cape looks really good. I think the translucent color that they applied here came out well. Good length to it. It's a pretty nice, solid costume piece, right? Now, and circulation looks pretty good, solid. You can kind of give him those wall crawling acrobatic shots. Cape, like, sort of clearance around the shoulders. Is also known for like allowing him to do things with his actual cape. It's not movable, but the pose might actually come out better that way. And that's some pretty nice high contrast paint, with really nice sharp white accents that I'm seeing pop out, especially like under some nice lighting. So pretty good there. During accessories, I do see 4 pieces here, which include the 2 whip hands, and 2 roll crawling hands, right? So, and again, the tattered cape that's attached to him, on the back. So, generally speaking, I think it looks like a good new version of Spider-Man 2999 here. Seems to be an upgrade, but we'll have to see once it's in hand. But I think it's still worth the pickup, especially if you don't have the first version, right? And last one up here is Kardec from the Spider-Man Retro Collection again. He's more like a vigilante with like that beta staff and blast effects, right? I'm not too familiar with this dude, but looks pretty interesting, right? He represents, I think, Dr. Ellis Wortham, I think his name is, which is like a vigilante, with rocking like tech staff weaponry and energy effects, right? It's more of like sculpting. It's more of a tactical like frame, I guess you can say. But the costume really stands out because it's the coloring and some of the weapons that he's actually using. Right, portability. I guess he meant. It looks like he has some decent articulation there. It's just some nice sturdy wrist capabilities that you can actually hold the staff, and that large blue effect there. I don't see the ab crunch though, so but I guess that should be fine with this type of figure. The industrial in terms of actual paint application, the industrial metallics themselves and the blue accents actually stand out really well, especially against like neutral backgrounds. If you have them like in a white display, sort of shelf, right? I really like the blue tones here because it has a nice hint of gray blending into it. Really helps you mute it down a little bit, but not too much, right? Now, in terms of accessories, it includes 5 pieces. So the 2 alternate hands, the beta staff, and 2 blast effects for like the range combat shots, and really, which really came out good, right? It's scaled also well, especially to his bow staff, and that blue translucent rather, came out really good, and just not a bad accessories for this guy, right? Now I'm not sure if I'll be picking him up, quite yet, but I do like the accessories and just the feel of the actual model itself, right? So there you have it, folks. Thanks for joining me today to take a closer look at the 6 new figures coming out soon from Marvel Legends. This includes the Inhumans 2 packs, which should be available for pre-order and release of this video, or at least one of them, right? Whereas the Spider-Man Retro should be ready towards the end of Q3. Otherwise, the new Inhumans 2 packs look pretty solid so far, and we're lucky to pick them up so I can finally have like Chris and Lockjaw chilling with their family, complete, right? And Spider-Man 29 is a must pick up for me as well. I may skip out a Kardak just because I don't have a need for him in my collection, but we'll see when I actually see it, live, right? But let me know in the comments below if you plan on picking any of these new figures up and why. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more content on the coolest Marvel figures around. Until next time, folks, keep on collecting.